Hello and welcome back to West Brom Fan TV. Now, fixtures coming thick and fast with these midweek ones. It's another round of predictions. So, without further ado, let's get cracking into it. Also, a pre-warning, if you hear any noise throughout this video, I have a very needy cat who is currently staring at me, who is most likely going to try and nag for food. But yeah, she's already been fed, so no. Let's get started. Cardiff City versus Portsmouth. Cardiff getting a big win at the weekend, 5-0 against Plymouth. Portsmouth as well, with a 2-1 win, their first win of the season away at QPR. Obviously, a lot of people would be saying Cardiff are surely going to get another win after such an emphatic victory against another southern opponent, but I think the Portsmouth are going to carry on this good run. It's like Chris Wilder said, if this side get going, they're going to be some force, and Portsmouth seem to be on the march, I guess. So yeah, 2-1 Portsmouth. Next up, Leeds United taking on Watford FC. Now Leeds got a massive win, a statement victory against Sheffield United last time out. Probably one of the biggest games so far this season. And Leeds did a brilliant job of putting the blades to the sword, ironically named. Watford, on the other hand, got absolutely dismantled by Luton. It was one of them. It seemed like the atmosphere got to the players a bit. And they got tore apart. And I could see it happening again. 3-0 to Leeds. Next up, Oxford United taking on Derby. Now, I saw Oxford play against the Baggies on Saturday. They were all right. Didn't do loads, but like I said, they just grind out results. They grinded out a point against us in the last bloody minute. It was cruel. This is what they do. Derby have been looking all right, I guess. Like I said, another team that are relying a lot on home form. And I think that they're going to come up a bit short against Oxford. I'm going to say 2-0 Oxford. Up next, Preston North End taking on Norwich City. Two teams, I'd say, are on around a similar type of form at the moment. I think it's going to be the ball draw. I always have one every prediction, so this will be the 0-0 draw. Up next, Sheffield Wednesday taking on Swansea. Now Sheffield Wednesday suffered a defeat against Burnley, who were a top side, and I can see them bouncing back from this result. I think Swansea aren't necessarily amazing on the road. Sheffield Wednesday's a hard place to go. Yes, I think it's got 2-0 Sheffield Wednesday written all over this one. Up next, Stoke City taking on Bristol City. Now, Bristol pulled off a massive result against Middlesbrough. Obviously, credit to them. Their manager's son passed away. Absolutely gutting. It seems like they were thriving to put on a show for him and I guess get a result for the boss. Stoke getting a point against Norwich is not a bad result, but I think that the emotions at Bristol are going to be running high again, and they're going to want to get another result to make the manager proud, especially looking at what he's going through. Obviously, some things are much bigger than football, and I think that's going to carry Bristol through. I'm going to say Stoke 1, Bristol City 3. Up next, QPR taking on Coventry City. QPR have been, not the best really, bottom of the table. I don't think anyone would have thought that at the start of the season. There were a lot of people's dark horses with Martin Cifuentes. Cov losing at Deepdale as well, 1-0. Their record against Preston is abysmal, so I wouldn't look too deep into that game. I saw a few of the fans getting on the manager's back, which is just crazy. I mean, come on. The guy literally took Cov from League 2 when no one gave a rat's arse about them, and now they're looking solid in the Championship. They've had multiple trips to Wembley. They've got silverware to the name, and it's just one of them. Whenever I back Cov, they seem to bite me on the bum, so I'm not backing them here. I'm going to say 2-0 QPR. I think the home advantage will be big in this one. Next up is the Albion. We take on Blackburn Rovers at Ewood Park. Tough place to go. We don't usually seem to get much at Ewood Park. With both teams have fell off a little bit, really, momentum-wise. We're still in the playoffs, but only feels like momentarily, to be honest. And Blackburn have hit a rocky patch as well. So last week I said a Desmond Tutu for West Brom. This week I want to say a 1-1. Next up, Hull City taking on Burnley. Hull losing to Sunderland. One of the weirdest goals. The referee right in the way of the player when the pass is going into him. It's just, what are you doing? And Burnley getting a big win away at Sheffield Wednesday. Hull haven't been the best, but I think this could be one of the shocks of the week. I'm going to say 2-1 Hull City. I think that they'll surprise some people in this one. Next up is Luton Town taking on Sunderland at Kenilworth Road. Luton, seem to be picking up a little bit now. The talented players they've got in that squad are seeming to start firing. A massive result on Saturday in the derby against Watford. Surely they're going to be high in spirits. Sunderland, they've been in good form as well. They're top of the league for a reason. They seem to be grafting out results and just not being, super emphatic, but they're just getting it done. They're getting it done when needed. Saying that, two teams that are in decent-ish form. Let's say an exciting 2-2 draw. Next up is the clash at the Den as Millwall take on Plymouth Argyle. Now, to be fair, I haven't really saw much of Millwall this season, lately in the last couple of match weeks, to be honest. Mainly because of how they absolutely bored us to death at the Hawthorns. Saying that, I'm pretty sure they got a point at the weekend against Derby. Plymouth are like a box of chocolates. One week they're brilliant, the next week they're shocking. Losing 5-0. Obviously, they did have a man sent off, but still. And I don't think Rooney was on the touchline either, so they were missing out a bit. Obviously, we all know about the Den. It's a tough place to win at, and that's the reason why I'm going to say a 1-0 win to Millwall. Next up, is I'd say the big game of this match week, midweek match week. Middlesbrough taking on Sheffield United in what is a big game. Middlesbrough, like I said, were really impressive against the Albion, but they did come up short on Saturday. Saying that, like I said, emotions are running high with that game, with what's happened with Liam Manning, the Bristol manager, last week. So obviously you can see why Bristol would get a result. They'd want to do it for the manager, putting that extra 10% in. Sheffield United obviously suffering their first defeat of the season on Friday night against Leeds. But saying that, do I think this will be a sign of things to come for Sheffield United? Let's have a think. You know what? Up against a Middlesbrough team that are full of quality, I think they're going to struggle. And for the crunch game this match week, I'm going to say Middlesbrough 3, Sheffield United 1. Now, there are my predictions. Drop yours in the comments below. There'll also be another video coming out this week of me ranking every away day in the Championship, because I've done them all. Oxford was my final one, so I can give my verdict. And let's just say it's going to cause a bit of controversy in the comment section, especially with a couple of the big clubs in the league. You know who you are, Sunderland. But yeah, anyways, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate all the support on the channel. And boing boing, up the Albion, come on you baggies.